How are you, Mr. Palmer? You seem better?
They killed Albert, you know?
I see.
I should have looked after my Albie better. But the whip...
You don't seem well, Benjamin.
Oh...
I served in France, too. Tell me about the war, Benjamin. Tell me what happened to you.
It was hell, Doctor. Pure and simple. The terror. Shouting. Screaming and death.
It may mean nothing to you, Benjamin, but I've created a new way to conserve and transfuse blood. It could revolutionize medicine.
All these horrors had a purpose then. All those that died must be so...
What are you doing now that Albert is dead?
One thing I learned from my time in France is how to kill. Now I'm going to war for myself.
Can you tell me anything about the gang responsible for Albert's death?
The Wet Boot Boys. For ages, those bastards have controlled the East End docks. And now they're trying to expand.
And why is that?
Because of the war and the flu. And look at the poverty around here. Crime feeds on despair. You see it here every day.
Your son seemed very eager to join the gang, Benjamin. Some would say he got what he deserved.
His body was found this morning. He'd been murdered. I think his real goal was to escape from me. From this life.
The boy was no good, if you ask me. A bad seed about to bloom.
Albert was raised by a fathead, I know that. I failed him, and he died alone. But I won't let the gangs ruin any more of our kids.
Take care.
To all your problems, as long as you have the money.
easy boy.
You never... That's all from... You never... Right then.
You again?
Can I offer you...
No.
Good. Good evening, Harry.
Sure. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered.
Do you need any...
Yes, I do.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities, but I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reed. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
Goodbye, young man.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
You again? What do you want this time?
Goodbye. Good evening. Do you need any assistance? I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners. Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, men.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Do you need us?
That would be nice.
If you persist in investigating the most pox-ridden boroughs of London, you must accept the risks.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye. Hello again, miss. Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Very well. This man stunned me with his faith. His crucifix. This is not good news. Hello, sir. Sorry to disturb you at this hour. I'm a doctor inquiring about the epidemic. May I come in?
A doctor, you say?
All right. Good evening, sir.
Leave me alone, I say, Hoop.
Oh, this is despicable. I have this thirst for blood. believe I'm doing this.
Best. It ain't human! Die, vermin!
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Kill it, boy! Bruce the leech, boys!
Braille. I need someone who can read this.
What happened? Who are you?
It's all right, sir. You're safe now.
Oh, a fellow Englishman. Thank you, sir. For a moment I thought those bloody heathens had killed me.
What are you doing here? This place is not safe.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, but it's mine. I came to collect some overdue rent, but those who still live here have gone completely bonkers.
You're very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, filthy immigrants. Fucking savages, every one of them. And now with this bloody fever, they're just animals.
You can find safety of sorts in Whitechapel. If you're quick and cautious, you'll be able to avoid the savages. I have this thirst for blood. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doc.
Do you need med...
I'm afraid I've
Not under my watch, nurse. Take this. You'll feel better.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, nurse. It's locked, all right. Good. Do you recall? I'll leave you.
I'm quite busy.
I know that you're a busy man, but I could use your help.
The great Dr. Reed honors me with a request. What?
Dr. Strickland devised an experimental drug for the Spanish flu that he asked me to manufacture.
You know what I think of fringe medical experiment.
That's exactly why I want you to keep the result, Doctor. I made sure it won't harm anyone, but I'd like you to take care of it.
I see. Put it in my cabinet. I'll give you the key. I'll make sure no one uses this medication by mistake.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Thank you for your trust on the matter, Doc.
Do you need my...
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable...
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between...
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed. We do not see you in surgery very...
Thank you for your...
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Do you require medical...
Do you know...
Despite what you think about this place, I can tell you with absolute certainty, taking this will help you recover.
Well, at least your reputation seems well deserved. Unfortunately, I can't say that...
Goodbye. Good evening, Mr. Fitz.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Is there any...
Really?
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who needs help. And complaining about it won't do you any good.
Well, perhaps you're right, Dr. Reed. I'm sure if me missus was still alive, she wouldn't be happy with me going on like this.
Goodbye.
My sweet girl.
Good evening.
Good...
Do you require...
I will...
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this, and do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Good. Do you need any medical...
I'm afraid...
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections, Milton. There's no shame in being ill while you're in a hospital.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. Thanks. Wise choice. Good evening. Pippa, my princess, flee away while you can, for all is lost.
would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
Hiding your true appetites behind a facade of compassion. Bravo. Very clever indeed.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
We are vampires. We live by leeching the blood from weaker prey. We are Darwin's next chapter. His cynical and perhaps ultimate expression.
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, your ladyship. The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady, the blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
So me being a vampire could have...
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway.
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
Excuse my forwardness.
Me? Goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution. And
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
A vampire? Is that...
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires, but all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain, more than likely it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society, and like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been
Are there many vampires here in London?
immortal. immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to...
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked...
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad.
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our... hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London vampire society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scat.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Skulls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
What type of vampire?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
Very well, but I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some.
And who bestowed upon you this?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
I bid you farewell. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient. Do you need... Of course. Razvan Va... was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Scowls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it. Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak, but I have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu, it's very different from the one I saw in Europe. It's downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
We're facing something new here, Dr. Swansea. Something terrible.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stole, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here, but it is spreading, and quickly. If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
But Jonathan, we've a fantastic opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
And why not? What did Stoker say about the Children of the Night? Well, using my blood, I could create a whole army of vampires.
Surely you're joking.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as I said, I needed to talk to you. I have some rather bad news.
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary, I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened to us. I swear.
Christ! He's dead!
In this letter, Mortimer Goswick does nothing to hide his desire to die. I could give it to his mother, but doing so would betray his trust. It's locked. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Why must it always be a good...
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you some questions, if I may.
Don't like questions, or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fishburne, if you must know.
What can you tell me about...
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and...
Are you thinking about something?
Nope. Hate them all. Especially these petty, whining little shit.
Is there no one who deserves your lenience?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke.
Do you require... I don't know which kind of doctor you're used to dealing with, but it's a doctor's purpose to heal people.
And is it your purpose as well, Mr. Reed? I would say it's a convenient way for gaining people's trust.
What can you tell...
A shit up.
What's your...
I take care of my mum. That's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her.
You seem upset.
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot. A worthless idiot.
Sometimes it's hard to be...
I just wanted to smile. No, I was thankful for her...
Goodbye, Miss... Hello, boy.
Hello. Good evening.
Did I scare you? You have nothing to fear from me.
No, it's just that people prefer to...
Well, I won't. I'm a doc...
My name is Rufus, sir. Rufus Kingsbury.
Do you need help?
A real doctor caring about me.
A real doctor treats everyone the same, Rufus.
I don't know what to say. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
What can you tell me about this region?
It's all about staying out of trouble. But since most people prefer to avoid me, it's pretty easy.
Why do people...
They call me Rufus the Curse. Around here, I'm a bit of a bad luck.
Have you ever thought about leaving?
Where else would I go? At least I know these streets and some people around here. This is my city, for better or worse.
What do you do around here, Rufus?
I listen to the news on the docks, sir. And I smile at those kind enough to spare me a bob.
Do you have a job?
It's hard to work, what with my head and all. Since I was a boy, I've always had trouble remembering what I do and why I do it.
What do people say about this place?
Things have been tense between the wet boot boys and the communists.
Are you alone?
I don't have any.
So you have no home? You're sleeping rough?
No. I mean, yes. I live on the streets. I have no...
This city has abandoned so many of its children. It's tragic.
Well, I've known worse. I'm not all alone. I have Mrs. Fishburne. She's been very kind to me.
Why do you think she's so considerate?
I can't say, sir. I guess she's a good soul. Sometimes it's like she replaces the mother I lost, even if we're not related.
So long.
Am I really cursed? It would explain so much.
Good evening, madam. I'm Dr. Reed. Could I come in?
Why? What do you want?
I work at the Pembroke Hospital. I'm investigating the flu epidemic in this area.
Oh, the Spanish flu. Well, that's quite liberal of you, Doctor. But this is no time to be knocking at people's doors.
The disease takes away the good people too, madam. Why not let me in?
It's Mrs. Fishburne. Stella Fishburne. Just grow eyes in the back of that head. So you have questions about the flu, then?
Yes, among other things.
Forgive my rudeness at the door. It's just my son doesn't like strangers coming in the house.
Mrs. Fishburne,
I am
the orphan that regards you as a mother. Please tell me about him, Stella.
You mean Rufus? I wish I could do even more for the poor boy. Most people are so selfish.
But you're not.
Years may have passed, but I haven't forgotten how it feels to go through days with nothing but an empty...
How is life around here?
Life has always been hard in the East End. But it's everywhere nowadays, isn't it?
Do you think the increase in violence has ever...
Don't know. But it's most likely linked to the gangs, if you ask me.
Violence has always fed on poverty, don't you think?
And selfishness is their rotten fruit.
May I ask what you do for a living, Mrs. Fishburne?
Since my husband died, I worked at the Dawson Rope Factory, but it closed before...
Did your husband die?
Oh no, my Jack was a docker. He died when my Seymour was just a lad. The poor boy saw his dad slip and fall from that scaffolding.
How do you pay the rent, then?
My Seymour works at the docks, just like his dad. He's very attached to the house he grew up in. It's not always easy, but we get by all right.
Goodbye, Miss Fish...
What can I do for...
Goodbye, Miss Fishburne. Take care of yourself.
Please don't stay too long, sir.
Evening.
Evening.
So long. Good evening, Miss...
Yeah.
Goodbye, Miss... Good evening, sir.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me?
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what...
Yes, you had...
I'm Dyson DeLay.
Inebriation?
Yes.
Take this, then. And perhaps you could try to slow down the alcohol intake, too.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy I can afford.
What do you do for a living?
I drink. I drink it.
Why do you drink?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be...
You sound very...
That's because I...
Don't you work?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I...
Is there anything...
How dare you say...
No reason at all to rejoice, then?
Let me tell you.
All right.
A few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred near...
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb.
You lost people you loved.
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it. And now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my homage to the dead.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. If you ever find them...
Is there anything in particular that you like?
How dare you say such a thing?
No reason at...
Let me tell...
Is that... Why are you so...
Cynicism is the polite way to express...
Surely you must have had dreams and expectations when you were young, like everybody else.
Sure. I wanted things to change. To really change.
Sounds like you were an idealist.
No, sir. I was an anarchist and I believed that exclusive property is a robbery in nature. I wanted a new world to rise from the ashes, Dr. Reed.
Do you really think the world...
No, I believe we all can choose to make it better.
I want to know more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor, make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world, unlike my comrades.
Do you still see your comrades, then? Even if you don't agree with their methods anymore, I mean.
No. I hope they'll come to share my point of view one day. I'll raise my glass to that splendid idea.
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution, then?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Goodbye.
Should have offered a drink to the boy.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
You remember?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my...
Thank you for your hospitality.
I'm still Tom Watts.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's not that bad. Thanks to people like the sad saint of the East End.
Who?
Sean Hampton, our own private holy figure. Few are foolish enough to make peace with the gangs. Sean...
How is it you can keep this place open? This part of town doesn't seem particularly safe.
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by most groups.
Since I'm here, is it...
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly depends on my stock of gin.
How could a physician help you in this?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarry.
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know. Very well.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I see. So you get pressure from all sides about how this place should be run, do you?
Well, something like that. Nothing that a few wise would...
You're something of a figurehead around here.
I'm only pouring alcohol for everyone to forget their troubles. Sean Hampton is the one giving them long...
Goodbye, Miss...
I should have offered a drink.
Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy...
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about this area?
People don't appreciate that line of questioning round here. You best be more careful with what...
You look concerned, Miss...
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid. Most locals will rob you blind, or worse. You best mind your...
If you're uncertain about your safety here, the docks might not be the right place for you.
I got responsibilities. And it's not like I got the money to move anywhere else anyway.
This place seems, how shall I put it, very colourful. I'm sure it has plenty of stories to tell.
We get people of all sorts here. It's that rare place in the docks where you can have a drink without being murdered. At least it's not happened yet.
So this bar is neutral territory then?
Yeah. Tom's convinced this is something the locals need. No one ever draws a weapon here. That's one of the reasons I accepted the job.
Your boss must be quite the negotiator to force such an agreement.
Yeah. Tom's a great bloke. Mr. Hampton, who runs the night asylum, he's the only other man that's able to keep peace around here.
Excuse my curiosity, but where exactly are you from, Miss Cavendish?
Something bothering you? What, my name? Or my complexion?
Believe me, I never judge someone on their place of birth or the colour of their skin.
If that's true, you'd be one of the few not to make fun of me. Just you, Tom, Dyson, Miss Fishburne, and of course Mr. Hampton.
I'm sorry if I worried you. I was just curious to find out if you know this part of town well.
Nosy. My dad was a sailor from Bombay, and my mum was a maid born up in Glasgow. They got married in London. And here I am.
Goodbye.
Steady, boys! We've got one.
So much alcohol, he could keep this district afloat for quite some time. It's locked, all right. From Seymour to my beloved mother, Stella. Fishburne, that sneaky bastard. Good evening, Mrs. Fishburne. May I come?
Of course. Please don't stay too long, sir.
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
What can I do?
I believe you may find this necklace of interest.
What is it? I don't understand.
It's a gift your son was hoping to give you. But I'm afraid it links him to the nearby murders.
You mean this belongs to one of his victims? Jesus. I knew this.
This day? You mean you already knew? Are you buying my silence? I will not be an accomplice in this.
What? No. My son's crimes distress me more than you can imagine. But I'm his mother. I love him.
Your son's gone way beyond simply bullying people. He has a taste for blood, and you know it, don't you, Stella?
One night, he told me straight up, in his own words. It was several days after one of his episodes.
Did Seymour tell you everything that night?
More than I could stand. The words he used to describe his...
Why did he confess? Did you...
No. I guess he wanted his old mum to help him fight his...
Stella, I know you are ashamed of your son's crimes. So why do you protect Seymour?
I can't report my own son, can I? Not a burden.
Burden? How do...
They'd hang him for sure. I won't send my only son to his...
The situation will only get worse. Someone has to stop Seymour.
If someone ever found the courage to speak to the police, I will take...
Tell me about these demons Seymour needs your help to fight.
Seymour used to be such a happy child, and he is still a helping son most of the time. But when he gets angry, he can...
All men and women are born innocent, Mrs. Fishburne. But there can be a monster within any of us.
Do you think he can be cured, Doctor? Do you think something can extinguish this rage inside my Seymour?
Science has only just begun to investigate the mysteries of the human mind. Currently, we have more assumptions than fact.
There ain't no hope, then. Somehow, somewhere, my son has turned into a monster, and nothing will bring him back.
Goodbye, Miss Fish. Evening, Rufus.
Evening, Mr.
So long, Rufus. Good evening, Mr. Fishburne.
Yeah.
Tell me about your victims, Seymour. Who were they? Why them? Was there a link?
Why should there be? They just kept getting on my nerves at the worst times. That's all.
You feel nothing, do you? No empathy for your victims?
You seem pretty calm yourself, don't you?
We're not talking about me.
All right. Well, our calm's the only thing we have in common then.
How many? How many?
It's not like I keep records.
Did you take pleasure in killing them, Seymour? All those people, all those lives extinguished.
I take no pleasure from it. Just gives me peace. Still.
This rage you feel, have you ever been able to...
I tried. For my mum. I tried for her. Telling the truth made me feel better. For a while.
Don't you think you should seek help?
No. And don't dare speak about me to your colleagues either. Keep your mouth shut tight. Especially about my mum.
Why is your mother protecting you, Seymour?
I'm her son. She's the only one who knows me. Sometimes I think she knows me better than I know myself.
I understand you love her, but can't you see the awful situation you've put her in?
Do you think my mum would have a better life if I were dead? She seems so sad to know me sometimes.
Death is an appropriate punishment for your crimes, Seymour Fishburne. Cherish every day that you spend as a free man.
It might be my mum's wish that I end up swinging from a hangman's noose, but she wouldn't want to be the one who ties a knot round my neck.
Goodbye, Mr.
Something can be done to get out of this bullshit mess.
Welcome back, Doctor. What can I do?
You lied to me, Tom. Your warehouse wasn't empty. It was inhabited with armed vigilantes.
I'm sorry, Dr. Reed, but I thought those Prewen guards would be willing to let someone like you pass without trouble.
That was devious of you, Tom. Next time you can bloody well go yourself.
I apologise, Doctor, but it's just that I prefer to avoid the law, its enforcers, and all manner of thugs in uniform.
Here is your booze. I hope it will appease your customers. Just try not to kill anyone with this poison of yours.
Believe me, Doctor, most of my customers are less agreeable when sober.
Why does your waitress feel in danger working on the docks?
This part of town is dangerous for all, but for women it's worse, as always. Sabrina is a brave girl, but she can't help feeling in danger.
Do you think she has good reason to feel this way? Are you not worried about her safety?
Of course I am. The truth is, she's tougher than me deep inside. She just has to learn to control it.
Tell me about your arrest for attempted murder, Tom.
I tried to kill someone. I got arrested. I paid my debt and I have nothing to hide.
Do you think prison changed you? Made you a better man?
Oh, I don't know about that. All I brought back is bad memories, scars, and an ugly tattoo of a blue turtle.
But do you feel cleansed of your sins?
All I know is that I'm at peace. I did what I did, but I wouldn't do it again. Does that make me a better man? I don't know.
So you mean your customers know about your sword?
Yeah, why do you think this is the last pub open? I have nothing.
Why not leave town and start a new life after you got out of jail?
I grew up in the East End. This is where my root...
Do you think the docks will always be a hive of scum and villainy?
As long as poverty and fear run the show, I don't see how it would change. Misery loves company, as they say.
Don't you feel threatened, staying in such a violent and criminal neighborhood?
I've made peace with my violent past, Dr. Reed. I may not be a pacifist, but I'm not angry at...
Murder. Give me some details.
I was given an order to kill. I was an obedient gang member at the time, a proud, wet boot boy.
So you were ordered to kill someone. What happened then?
I don't know if you can possibly understand, but I couldn't kill him. I just stood there pointing my gun. Someone saw me. I gave up.
Why couldn't you shoot?
My target was eating in that fancy restaurant with mirrors and music. He was eating, drinking, laughing. He was having such a good time. I hated him for his bottomless appetite and easy life of easy pickings. And then something happened.
You refused to kill him because you wanted to feel some of that happiness yourself. You empathized with him.
Exactly. The man was a bloody landlord who rented overpriced flats. A selfish bastard. But he made me smile. And
Why did you join the gang?
Because I finally felt useful. Do you have any idea what it means to feel respected when the rest of the world shits on you?
Goodbye, Mr. Watt.
You still working at this hour?
Tell me, Sabrina, do you really believe Tom has renounced his life of crime?
He proves it to me every day he tells the truth. Tom Watts is a good man. One of the best.
And you don't think he might fall back into his sordid ways?
We can all do terrible things, Dr. Reed. And we never know what we're really capable of.
Were you aware of Tom's past incarceration?
That's the first thing he told me when he offered me the job. He didn't want me hearing about his past from anyone else.
Did it surprise you to find out about it?
Not really. I was already aware of his reputation before I met him. That's why I came to the Turtle in the first place.
Most people would have run away because of that.
Not me. I thought a man like him could give me stability, you know? At least to some degree. And I wasn't mistaken.
Goodbye, Miss Cap. This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood.
yourselves! Christ, he's dead! You're mine! Oh my god! We have to... It's illegal! Kill him! Over there! There's one of them vermin! It's down! Finish it.
Yes. The place has changed since the explosion, but it was definitely here. I should find some way to pay my respects. May all who suffered from this tragedy find all rest in peace. Good evening, Mr. Fishburne.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Mr. Good evening, sir.
Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here?
Dr. Jonathan Reed, that's who I am. And who are you?
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name is Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you
Do you need medical...
Yeah, I do.
So you can sell them on the black market? Sorry. I'll only provide you with exactly what you need.
Fair enough, Dr. Reed. Don't cost me nothing to ask.
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets?
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are, see?
So, tell me about your gang.
What? Have you got a death wish? You really want me to answer that?
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're working for?
Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The Wet Boot Boys work for me. All of them. Situation round here is better than other districts because of us. Because of me.
So you're a concerned criminal, is that it?
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you? Fuck. You must have some balls.
I saw many men like you during the war, Mr. Digby. Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair.
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah. You've been a soldier. I can respect...
What can you tell me about...
Things ain't...
Well, you're not...
Yeah, well...
More of... What can you tell?
Things ain't that...
Well, you're not doing a
Yeah, well, we can't...
More efficient? Really?
Incredible, you know...
Goodbye.
Foolish girl and her pretty principles. She's got no...
Good evening, miss. I am Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you...
As I just told you, I'm a doctor. From the Pembroke Hospital, actually.
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I don't have any money for you leeches.
I'm not here for charity, Miss...
Miss Edwina Cox. So what do you want then? Fancy buying something from me, maybe?
You still use your husband's name, Edwina. Why is that?
Why shouldn't I? He may be a bloody bastard, but I'm still his wife and his name means something round here.
Are you aware of what happened to him?
Yes. I'm sure he fought till the end and looked death in the eyes. The boys will mourn him. Except one of them, maybe.
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my Wet Boot Boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across the city, you know.
I'm not interested in a career in the criminal underworld.
Fair enough. Stay away from us then, if you don't want to get hurt.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel that concerned by threats, knives, or even bullets, if you must know.
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us. Booth and I reminded him a bullet beats words every time.
You're quite blunt, aren't you?
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of great opportunity for those.
What can you tell me?
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you...
Really? Don't you think that's a little bit...
Bastards, all of them. This region only responds to violence and threats.
You sound like you're thinking of somebody in particular.
Take the gravediggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to steal from the dead.
Looting corpses in a mass grave. That is a new...
Whatever. Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access that forbidden area and remind those bastards what they...
Can I offer you my med...
Giving out for free? You'd make a poor...
Perhaps I would. Please, take this. You'll feel better.
Thank you. But don't expect me to...
Booth Digby looks at you with love-struck eyes. Tell me, Edwina, is the feeling mutual?
You have no idea how refreshing it can be for a woman to receive all the pleasure she needs. For once.
I'll take your word for it.
What is it, Doctor? A woman's not supposed to talk about these things.
I believe you manipulated Booth Digby to get everything you wanted from him. Both inside and outside the bedroom.
The poor bastard is good to me, if you must know. He makes me feel good. And that's a first.
So you're just like any other couple, after all, are you not?
Yeah, we're so ordinary that I'd put a bullet in his head if he ever cheated on me.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed, Edwina.
The bastard killed one of us and received retribution. There's nothing else to say.
What happened exactly?
I don't know, and I don't care. One of ours was killed by that communist bastard, but he didn't brag for long.
So you have no idea what really happened, but you executed him anyway.
No one messes with the Wet Boot Boys, Doctor. This is our territory, and this is our law.
And your conscience is clear. You kill without hesitation.
Violence is an efficient tool, Dr. Reed, when used.
So you decide who lives and who dies, just like that.
Yes, Doctor. Just like that. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying it's my way of dealing with troublemakers.
Can I see...
As long as you have money.
You again. What do you want?
Tell me about the man you killed, Booth. What happened?
One of us had been killed, so we had to retaliate. That's the whole story.
There has to be more to it than that.
No, really. One of us got killed, so the killer had to die. That's how things have always been done round here. No one gives a shit.
Are you so heartless that you could pull the trigger and kill someone without even blinking?
Have you looked around recently? Do you really think one more body will make a difference?
Do you know Edwina suspects you to be unfaithful?
Edwina's the one who asked to be called Mrs. Cox, even though Clay hadn't touched her for such a long time.
You have not answered my question.
She's a passionate woman. I've no doubt she'll shoot me down if I ever betray her, but that's not going to happen. I love her as she is.
Goodbye, Mr. Digby. Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
What? Oh, you're that doc...
I found the location of the explosion, Mr. Delaney. I placed a flower for you where it happened, just as you asked.
Really? That's so kind. I never thought someone would... Well, thank you.
It's nothing, really. And...
What? No, I didn't know them. No car was supposed to park there that day. Stupid bastard, why did he park there?
You're the man who hid that bomb.
I don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone.
I sense your guilt, Dyson. Why is that? Did you not think violence was an acceptable political tool?
I still believe our fight was just. By killing an innocent couple who were just at the wrong place at the wrong time. No way.
That bomb also killed you that day, don't you see? You just die a slower death, drink by drink.
I know. Maybe I deserve judgment. Until that day, I'll just be Dyson the drunk, not Dyson the murderer.
I want you to remember the bomb, Dyson. Tell me about it.
No, I don't. I don't want to remember it.
Why use a bomb? What were you trying to destroy?
The Dawson & Dawson ammunitions factory. A symbol of violence against the people. My group wanted to destroy it to send a message.
The victims. They were not the target then.
I spent so much time figuring out the perfect moment. I used a short fuse. No car had ever parked there. They all died.
Goodbye, Mr. Good evening, Mr. Dillon.
What?
The easy coverage just as likely to cause a problem as to solve one.
No one will remember me.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood. This place. Rain may have washed away the blood, but not the memory. My poor Mary. Evening.
Evening, Mr.
So long, Rufus. Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. What do you want?
I managed to reach the mass grave in South...
Spare me the details, Dr. Reed. All I want to know is what happened to those bastards who owed me money.
I'm afraid those bastards, as you call them, are in the mass grave.
Dead? Shit. That money would have been useful. Well, I'll tell my boys to avoid the place if it's that dangerous.
Yes. Everybody should avoid that place until further notice.
Okay then, Doctor. It looks like you deserve your reward after all. The Wet Boot Boys thank you for your help.
Tell me your feelings about Booth's belief in monsters.
It makes him look weak in front of the boys, that's my feeling.
You don't believe he really saw them?
I don't care what he saw or not. All I know is that a real man keeps his fears to himself if he wants to be obeyed.
Goodbye.
You again.
I know you believe monsters are real, Boo.
They are. I know, I saw one, but no one but...
Tell me what you saw.
It was a few years ago. Clay Cox was still the boss then. He'd sent me to the ship.
Go on.
First I thought it was an old lady with a limp. It looked frail and crooked. Then I saw it grab a bloody beam and lift it like it was a stick. I shouted. It looked straight at me.
Do you know what it was?
It was all eyes and long teeth, but I couldn't see its face. I shot at it when it moved towards me and I hit it. And then it jumped and vanished in the shadows.
You could have imagined all that. These docks can be so gloomy at night. With the fog and the wind and the boats.
No, Doctor. That night I saw the fucking sewer dog for real. It's not a beast like the stories say. It's the ghost of an old woman. Bullets can't stop it. But no one believes me.
Are your friends mock?
Even Edwina told me once to never speak about it, but I know what I saw. And it wasn't human. Not human at all.
Do you know Edwina's...
Edwina's the one who asked to be called Mrs. Cox, even though Clay hadn't touched...
You have not answered.
She's a passionate woman.
Goodbye. cannot enter. locked, all right.
Get your weapons ready! We found... See them fellas close! This one's a top! He's dead! does it, boys. We can deal with this vermin. Filthy piece of shit!
It's locked. enter. Good. Do you require...
My condition...
I...
Good evening, Doc.
Your son asked me to find this letter, Mrs. Goswick. However, I thought it would be...
I already know what I'm going to read. Mortimer, why are you...
We will talk about this letter later. I understand that you need some privacy.
Before you leave, take this...
Mortimer is extremely vague as to his motive.
As you say, Mortimer had no reason to die. All he said to me was that he wanted to make the world a better place.
Why did your son feel so useless?
I think it was more that he could only see the melancholy fact.
What do you think he meant by making the world a...
Mortimer has always been a sensitive soul. He wouldn't talk to anyone for months after his father passed. It's like he carries everyone.
I have read your son's suicide note.
He threatened to kill himself a few times before.
Punish you?
I've known for a long time he was not happy with his life.
Do you realize your son could try to kill himself again?
I think about it every minute.
Your determination is laudable, but you are in a state of denial.
How dare you talk to a mother like that?
I'm only
No, I'll never...
Goodbye, Miss.
Sweet girl. Reads me like...
Good evening, Mr.
I'm okay.
I've read your letter, Mortimer.
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful, it's unbearable, and I don't ask anyone to understand.
The world is bleak, but maybe the pain we feel is the best compass for making it a better place.
How can we repair the world, Dr. Reed, when mankind is the biggest...
I have to go now. Good evening.
I'm okay. I don't feel the peace I was looking for. Mother, were you right all along? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's locked, all right. It's locked. Now that Dr. Ackroyd has been warned, he should make good use of this formula. I need to talk to you, Edgar.
Please do so.
So you manage a hospital financed by a vampire?
Yes, Pembroke was founded by Lady Ashbury. She's also our largest donor.
A convenient yet expensive way to have a fresh supply of blood on hand, day and night, don't you think?
All vampires drink blood by nature. Me, I praise the lady's exemplary moral fibre.
If I may inquire...
Well, Jonathan, she sought me out and offered me the position. It's been a very profitable partnership for both parties.
Nurse Crane will not be returning to Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, really? Did something happen?
She was blackmailing Lady Ashbury. Thought she was murdering patients as some sick upper-class game.
Nurse Crane was playing a dangerous game. She's lucky Lady Ashbury...
Do you know anything about the vampire hunters in the East?
Without a doubt, it's the Guard of Prewen. Zealots to the lot.
They're definitely well organized.
They're extremely dangerous and not to be trifled with.
Where do they come from?
Once they shared the Brotherhood's ideology on...
We'll talk